management. If we want to open SQL Server, we need to search SSMS. SSMS full form is SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, see, like if we click on this, it will open that SQL Server platform. Up to this part, any doubt from anyone? Any doubt from anyone? From online and online? Offline and online? No doubts? Okay. And one more thing I'm thinking to inform, like guys, whenever you are joining the class, please join with your proper names. Like still here, it is few of the members has joined Realme. Yeah, only one guide is there. So whenever you are joining, please join with proper names. Okay, so like then it will open it as this platform to us. This environment, whenever you click on SSMS, it will open this platform to us. See here, first one is server type. These server types, basically it has categorized into 4. It has categorized into 4. One is database engine. Second one is integration services. This and all no need to write, just it's a overview of information. Tomorrow class onwards, whenever you are you want that I will say. Integration services. Next, analysis services. Next, reporting services. Reporting services. See, this database engine is nothing but like SQL Server software. Like if you want to work here, it has a SQL Server database, then the server type SQL Server. If you want to work, then you need to choose database engine. Here we can prepare the data in tables. Tables point of view, we can implement the data. In database, we can represent the data in tables only, right? Okay, database, we can represent the data in tables only. Okay, that is the activity we can implement on database engine. So if we want to work with as a SQL Server, which product we need to choose database engine. Next thing is like we can coming to the overview basis, like what are the next options also. So here, these 3 options, we can call it as a MSBI. MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence. Microsoft Business Intelligence. So Microsoft Business Intelligence. The MSBI is categorized into 3 parts. 3 parts. One is integration services. This we can say that SSIS. This we can say that SSIS. Second one we can say that SS analysis services, SQL Server SSAS. Third one we can say that reporting services. This we can say that SSRS. Okay. So first one, MSBI as categorized into 3 parts. One is integration services, reporting services, analysis services. So integration services, what kind of activity they can implement? What is that? Is like it is a ETL tool. In demo class, we have discussed what is the activity of ETL. What is the activity? From different data sources, it's extracting the data and integrate the data and then load into one server. Extract, transform, load. Extract the data from various data sources and transform the data and loading the data into another application. That is the activity we can implement in the integration services. Integration, name itself, it is having integration, combining the data. Okay. Next one is like SSAS. This SSAS, we can use it as a to analyze the data. Here we can prepare it as cubes. Here we can prepare it as cubes. Data analyzation is the analyzation purpose. We can prepare it as a multi-dimensional information. Multi-dimensional is nothing but cubes. Cubes. Cubes is nothing but we can say that it's a three-dimensional only, right? Cubes is three-dimensional. That three-dimensional information we can prepare an analysis service. Basically, this we won't learn integration services, reporting services. That just I'm giving it as an overview for you people. Okay, so that reporting services point of view, we can go with that reporting services point of view. We can go with like the reporting services. We can use it as a like how the Power BI will works. Like what we said in demo class, like to showing the data in graphical representation, we can go with this reporting services. మనము డేటాను గ్రాఫికల్ రిప్రజెంటేషన్ లో చూపించడానికి రిపోర్టింగ్ సర్వీసెస్ వెళ్తాము. To showing the data in graphical representation, we can go with reporting services. Like we can say that bar chart, line chart, table, like such kind of visuals. Okay, got it? Clear? So now here we need to select the server type is what? Database engine. So we no need to think about remaining things. So integration services, reporting services, analysis services, we no need to bother about it. Let's see, last one is what? Azure. So it's not related to our SQL server. It's Azure integration. So no need to think about that also. Azure SSIS. So no need to think. Next one is server name. Server name. So this, if we're coming into real time, whenever they are giving it as a, KT, you need to take the information, server name information. KT is nothing but knowledge transfer. Whenever you are entering into the new project, they will provide some basic information about that project. Like in this project point of view, what are the servers is available, what are the reporting servers is available, what are the database servers available, from where we need to extract the data, like regular basis, what kind of challenges we will face, that kind of information they will provide the KT. So if they haven't provided the information to us, like as a reporting guy, we need to ask. At the time of KT, we need to ask, what are the database servers to us? Okay, from which databases we can extract the data? The databases, from which databases we will extract the data, that we can call it as a data source. Okay, that we need to ask on KT itself. KT itself, we need to fetch the information. Whenever they will provide the KT, at that time itself, you can prepare it as a one notebook. In that notebook, you can keep it that all the server names information to whom we need to contact, what are the regular issues and all. Okay, so this knowledge transfer, it whenever they will provide it as a KT, then they will provide that information to us. If we coming to here, like you can click on by default, it will come. If it haven't come, then you can click on this arrow mark, click on browse more. There you can click on database engine, select that database server. Local servers, database engine, select that. Clear? Clear. So next part is authentication. Next one is authentication. See, this authentication, while installing the SQL Server software, there is a options authentication mode. Whenever you are whenever you are installing the software, the authentication, it will show that two options to us. One is mixed mode, and second one is SQL Server. There, if you choose it as a mixed mode, again, you will get here in this window point of view, in this SQL Server window point of view, you will get it as a two options. One is Windows authentication and second one is SQL Server authentication. While installing the SQL Server, for authentication point of view, you will get it as a radio button option. If you choose there it as a mixed mode authentication, then here you will get it as two options. One is Windows authentication and second one is SQL Server authentication. So next one is SQL Server. So if you choose there it as a SQL Server authentication, you will get only SQL Server authentication. If you choose there it as a SQL Server, then you will get only SQL Server authentication. So SQL Server authentication. So now let's see what is the difference between overall. Now it is how many authentications we have? Two things only, Windows and SQL Server. So if you choose here it as a Windows authentication, then here no need to provide the username and password. If you choose it as a Windows authentication, no need to provide the username and password. Like it's whatever the username and password it is having the system, Windows, the same username and password it will use and it will log in. Like if you choose here it as a SQL Server authentication, then you need to provide the username and password. If you go with real time, they will follow it as a like SQL Server authentication only. If you go with real time basis, they will follow it as a SQL Server authentication only. The SQL Server, if we are using it as a SQL Server authentication, we need to provide a username and password. This information in real-time basis, like we won't get it as a like IT team. Manak real time lo mamulga edaina system issues, generally if it is having the system issues in real time, if it is having any kind of system issues, we will contact with IT team. Okay, but database credentials point of view, we won't connect with IT team. We will connect with DBA team, database administration team. Got it? So if we have the issue with database credentials, to whom we need to contact? DBA team, database administration team. Okay, so if you don't know that, like who is database team, database administration team, you can ask with your colleagues. So this information why I am providing is like we are going with as a 3 years fake, 4 years fake. So we don't know that like what kind of things we can need to do. So that's why I'm saying this kind of stuff. Okay, so if any like database administration point of view, database point of view, if you have the queries like installation part, access part, like if we have the queries, we can contact with DBA team. It's not a IT team. Remaining installations, remaining queries, like if your system is not working, your system is slow, your system is processing some what of issues, that you can contact with IT team. That we can, for that we can connect with IT team. So database installations, database like credentials point of view, database access issues, like some table access issues, we need to connect with DBA team with our manager permission. Okay, so now here I'm doing myself, so that I'm taking it as a Windows authentication. I'm not entering the username and password directly. I'm connecting into my system. So here in SQL Server point of view, if we want to do any kind of activity, we can perform two approaches. One is GUI based. One is GUI based, and second one is query based. GUI full form is graphical user interface. GUI based, and second one is query based. Okay, so GUI based is what? GUI based means like here it is having the options, right? If we use by using these options, if we do that operations, that we can call it as a GUI based. By writing the query, if we perform the operation, that we can call it as a query based. By writing the query, if we perform the operations, that we can call it as a query based. By using options, if we perform it, that we can call it as, by using options, if we perform the operations, that we can call it as GUI, graphical user interface, GUI operations, graphical representations. So these GUI operations we won't learn in this course basis. Why? Because of if we learn GUI based, that it won't helpful to if we go with other products. If we go with Oracle, if we go with BigQuery, if we go with some other products, it won't help. So we will learn here the complete operations by query representation only. One or two operations, I will show you what is GUI representation. Okay. Next thing is query representation point of view. If you want to do any kind of stuff here, you need to click on new query window. At that time, it will open it as a one new window. New window. Here we can write it as a SQL queries. Okay. Here we can write it as a SQL queries. See, in this SQL, if we want to do any kind of activity, the first again next concept is database. The SQL Server, if we want to do any kind of activity, the first concept we need to know it as databases. So that databases, it has categorized in two types that we will see tomorrow class. Like few of the members is absent today. So from tomorrow onwards, I won't wait to others. Okay, just today I'm giving like time. So from tomorrow onwards, as usual, 1 hour session I will take. 7 means sharp 7, 7:05, it will start the class. Sharp 7, you need to be the class. Okay, so from tomorrow onwards, I won't wait like 7, 7:10, 7:15 like that. Sharp 7 means 7:05, 7 to 7:05. That's it. Okay, from tomorrow onwards, like that, we need to follow the time. Yeah. Okay, guys, if you have the doubts, you can ask, or else we'll meet on tomorrow. Any doubts, if you have, you can ask, or else we'll meet on tomorrow.
శివాన్న రాఘవేంద్ర
Ravindra.
నా సబ్జెక్ట్ గురించి డౌట్ లేదన్నా ఇది పవర్ బిఐ ఎప్పుడు
అది మనందరం మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడదాం.
ఓకే.
Any other doubts from anyone? It's a related subject or non-related subject.
అన్నా ఇది పవర్ బిఐ క్లాస్ 8:30కి ఉంది అప్పుడు మళ్ళీ
8:30. Okay, no issues, right? Yeah. Okay, guys, we'll meet on tomorrow.